Maureen Weesey, who will lead us on this journey. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Yes, you heard a little bit about our company. We're the oldest American Indian dance troupe in Chicago, and it was started by, you'll see our head dancer, Kelly Summers, and her father started the dance troupe, and she is the only the person who's been with the dance troupe from the very beginning. Because she was just a child and she helped make the outfits for the dance troupe, and her father had a drum and he sang, and while he's no longer with us, we are still continuing on in his, for history to continue. So what we're going to do first is we're going to have a grand entry, and we're going to, I'm not standing, I'm supposed to show you the camera. We're going to have a grand entry like we would see in a powwow, and we're going to demonstrate for you dance styles that you would normally see in a powwow arena. Now, what we have on today is regalia, and much of this regalia is made by the individuals who are wearing it, and so it's really all artwork. It's we have artists who are beadwork artists, who are feather artists, who are applique artists who create things out of feathers and leather and just cloth. I mean, just about when you look at people's regalia, notice the many different items that they are made of. There's shells, there's bells, there's fur, and for the most part, everything is made out of natural objects. Of course, later in life, in terms of the trade in the Great Lakes, beads started coming into fashion, and they were traded for furs and other things, and so that's really where the history of beadwork comes from for us, and it continues today. So those are not made by us. The beads you see today are not made by us, but that's probably about it in terms of the only thing are some of the cloths, the ribbons, that kind of thing. So if everyone is ready, we have all of our dancers, then we will start with the grand entry. A flag song. We do a flag song to commemorate the great United States, and to pay homage to our great nation, because this is the only nation, the only land we've ever lived on, the United States. So that we want to honor that, and along with the veterans who have fought for this country. More natives have fought in the military than any other, by percentage than any other group of people. And our second song will be for the veterans. So the first one, and if you please stand if you are able for the flag song, and then our second song will be the veterans. Our first exhibition dance will be traditional dance. So if I could have the traditional band dancers come forward.
Hello. Right now we're going to have the boys be doing a traditional dance, northern style. If you look at their beautiful buckles they have on, headdress, their bands, and pretty much they're going to do a regular traditional song. So here we go.
for that first song. Next, I'd like to call the traditional women dancers. And just as the traditional men dancers are the oldest form of men dancing, the traditional women dancers are the oldest form of women dancing. But it's much different. It's slower, and the idea originally was that women's feet were not to leave the ground, but they were to dance smoothly on our Mother Earth. And in many tribes, the women and men did not dance together like we saw in the Grand Entry. They always danced separate. But the times changed, the styles changed, and now there are dances in which men and women dance together. But this is a demonstration of traditional women's dancing. Their grandmothers, and they love to dance and love to teach their children and grandchildren to dance as well. So that's one reason that the dance company continues, is we want to see these traditions passed down in our community and other communities where the children and grandchildren might live. Next, I'm going to call on, I guess, the Woodlands. I'm going to do Southern and Northern together. And this is, many of these styles were traditionally were traditional men's. Then they began this year to kind of, and then Winfield, raise your hand, Winfield is a Southern street dancer, and Southern was always this style. The Woodlands is relatively new in terms of being a separate style in the powwow contesting. And it has the traditional, these two young men have on floral patterns, which is traditional of the Great Lakes tribes, and many other tribes as well. And but that bright floral that you see is you'll see in museums as ever since beads began to come into the United States, you'll see those patterns on many pieces of clothing. So with that, so we have a couple different styles we're going to see here. Like as I said, there's one is woodland, northern woodland, and one is southern traditional. The Woodlands is probably one of the most popular dances today. It always has a lot of people contesting, and if you go to, let's say, Oklahoma, you would see a lot of people dancing like Winfield and Southern String dancing. So with that, the next I'm going to call on the women's jingler dancers, which is one of the most popular dances for drills today, drills and minutes. And this is, you can imagine the sound, and you hear these hundreds of people dancing in these dresses. And they're also the most colorful. Well, these along with the fancy shawl dancers in the powwow arena today. Now, one thing about, I wanted to tell you the story of the jingle dress. The jingle dress comes from my people, the Ojibwe people, and other Great Lakes people from the far north of the Great Lakes. And the story, the tradition that we were told is that there was an old man, and his granddaughter was very, very sick. And he didn't know what to do, so he prayed to the Creator. And the Creator said to him, well, I want you to learn these songs. I want you to have your wife make this dress. And I want you to have your granddaughter dance. And he's like thinking, my granddaughter can't dance. She can't even sit up. But he did as he was told, and that's what the Creator told him to do. And so that day the next day they were having a dance, and they brought the granddaughter on a stretcher, and they brought her to the arena, and she lay there and she heard the songs, and she heard the music and the drumming, and then pretty soon, other people were out there dancing, and then she felt stronger and stronger, and she sat up, and then she said she wanted to stand up, and then she stood up, and then pretty soon she was kind of bouncing in place, and then she said, let me see if I can walk. So she started to walk, and then the grandfather knew she was going to get better. So she walked around the arena, one step at a time, and then she began to walk faster and faster, and she began to do the dance that her grandfather told her to do, and the Creator had told her to do, and she became well. So today, that's why this is often called the medicine dance, the medicine dress dance. And people sometimes at powwows will say, well, all the jinglers get out there and dance for my grandma or my granddaughter or my son who's ill, and they'll do that. And they all do that in a good way, and they do that in prayer, and they're thanking the Creator that they are able to dance, and they ask for blessings on that person that is sick. So with that, we're going to have these young ladies will take it away. She's the new princess for the Midwest Soaring Powwow. And it's nice to see. Very proud. Alrighty. So we go to grass dance next. And the grass dance also is a dance with a story. And the grass dance is very popular too. It's a very popular dance among young men because it's kind of fast. And so people enjoy doing it, and especially it's a young man's dance. And so in the grass dance, there was a father, and he was really upset because his son was born with one leg that was twisted, and he couldn't dance like the other young men. So his father prayed to the Creator, and the Creator, he really prayed hard, and he said, listen, my son is really having a hard time. He can't be like the other little boys, and he wants to be like them. So the Creator told him, he said, well, listen, I got some special job for your son and his friends. We want them to smooth out the grass as we go along our road because it's very high. Like if you know in Illinois and Chicago, grass used to be like 4 or 5 feet high. It wasn't like little grass like you have in front of your lawn. It was like big grass. So this was an important job. So then you'll see the movements of the foot movements of the young men are supposed to be like they're smoothing down the grass, and then also the fringes on their outfits are to remind you of the grass how it looks swaying in the wind. So with that, we'll take it away, and we'll have the grass dance song. Kelly's father created the dance company because there were a lot of kids in Chicago that didn't know anything about their culture or their language or their history and nothing about music and dance. And he was a musician and he was a dancer. So he wanted to teach these young people about dancing and singing and creating their own regalia. So he did that one summer and he had 70 young people. And half of them girls and half of them boys. And so from that, even up to date, we have many of those young people who, their grandchildren now dance and sing still today. So that is really, that is really something in terms of that he started, had an idea, and he wanted to work with these young men and women, and it was difficult, as I said, because they were typical Chicago kids. They were in gangs, they were into drugs, they were into guns, they were into fighting, they were dropping out of high school, and yet he wanted to find something that they could do and that they could relate to. I think that at this point we're going to go into a round dance. I'm sorry, did I miss something? I missed the fancy shawl, I'm sorry. This happens to me. It's a senior moment. Okay, we're going to have fancy shawl, and then we're going to do and then I'll keep everyone in the room. We would like to take a picture with all of you and our dancers and with this beautiful backdrop. Boy, these windows are incredible. So we'd like to take a picture here after we do our round dance. Or maybe should we do the picture first? No. Okay. All right. Okay, so everyone, we want the dancers to come up. Well, first we're going to have a fancy shawl, then the round dance. Fancy shawl dance. Song, please. The fancy shawl dancers, they're often referred to as looking at butterflies because their arms have these shawls on and they have designs on the back of their shawls or fancy ribbons. And again, this is also a very fancy dance with in terms of young girls, and they love it. And again, the shawls are very colorful, and it's a faster dance than, of course, the women's traditional. So with that, we'll take it away. So we can all take a big picture together. Do you think so?
Yeah,
okay, well, we can try it. You have to hurt everyone there. You don't want this backdrop? Oh, that's a bigger building. Okay, everyone, all the dancers up front, grab some people from the audience. Come on, audience. It's really easy. You're going to see it's just you're sliding your foot side to side. You don't have it's nothing fancy. This is called a friendship dance or a round dance. If ever you get advertised, you'll see that it's just no, that's the two steps. You know, remember form a circle? Remember form a circle and see if you can get up. Come on, you need some audience participation. This is the audience participation card. I know you can do that.
Sweden.